Hello, 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 podcast listeners, and welcome to another episode of Pampering Myself. Today I'm excited because we have a guest, Miss Berline Brown, and she's no stranger to the show. Welcome, Berline. How have you been looking all fresh and relaxed?
I am so happy to be here again, Miss Jones, to this fabulous situation or outlet.
Well, today's episode I'm excited to give is Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. You know, I tried to find out who first coined this phrase, but my research came up short. What I did find was Aaliyah made a hit record in 1994 with that title of the song. But I don't think it really had anything to do with what we're going to talk about today. But others such as Muhammad Ali and Mark Twain and the list goes on have used this phrase in different ways and by different generations. Now, the phrase is often used to encourage people to pursue their goals and their interests regardless of their age, like starting a new job or pursuing a new hobby, because you know people are quick to tell you you're too old to do this or too old to do that. I know I've heard that on numerous occasions. And if I had to listen, I would not have gone back to school and completed my master's at 50. But that was a personal goal. And I believe that you are never too old to stop learning something new. As a matter of fact, if you sit around and let your mind become idle, you will age even faster. And the research has proven that theory. So, Berline, you are a prime example of age ain't nothing but a number. Because I don't believe you slowed down a bit since I met you how many years ago?
Pam, I think it's over 15 years.
Yes, it is over
yes,
15 years. It has been a very long time. So what motivates you? What's in your playbook? Inquiring minds want to know the secret.
Well, first of all, Pam, let me put this disclaimer here. Age ain't nothing but a number. Back in the day, that meant that it doesn't matter if you want to be a cougar or not. Whoever you want to engage with, they were young, it was all okay. But to bring it back up to today, age ain't nothing but a number. That really means don't limit yourself of what you can do in spite of how old you are. Because it's all in the mind and the youthful thinking that you want to hold on to as you grow or go around the sun, the solar system 3, 4, or 70 times.
That's right.
So I am really honored to be here and to be on this program because I truly believe that life doesn't stop after 70. Actually, it's just getting started.
And so you are 70. Are you confessing that you are 70?
Well, actually, I'm 73.
Oh, wow, exciting.
So, yes. So,
and you don't look it. You don't look it, and you certainly don't move.
Like I'm 70.
That's right.
That's true. And I encourage everybody else. I've always said that don't stop learning. Don't start living. And get out of God's waiting room and let Him catch you living. So I encourage everyone to, first of all, get your rest, learn new things, and forgive family. Let family be who they are. But you still need to be around family if it's nothing but 10 minutes. Greet family to try to hold it together as everybody changes in life. So, Pam, I encourage, and don't wait to start living.
That's right.
I mean, when I look back, I know you had mentioned offline that some of the things I would tell a young person, because young folks, young versus the old. The young folks nowadays, they don't realize there's a big gap between aging. They don't feel that because the days are long for them.
Right.
As we age and as we get older, and I'll just say, not aging, but as we get older, the days go by super fast.
Super fast.
Yes, yes. So
And I know I'm going to interrupt you here
Uh-huh.
because you said you brought up something interesting about the younger folks. I know a lot of times, I find myself, if I'm out and about and they just happen to capture my attention, and I think about to myself, wow, I used to be able to wear something like that, or I used to be able to do some of the things I see them, or have the energy that I see that they have. You ever think about, how time really goes by? I mean, when you see them, it does it seem like, or is it just me that was just yesterday?
Oh yes, oh yes.
I mean, when you think about embracing age and doing things, I know one of the things that I had mentioned to you about, and I'm going to skip ahead to that. What would you tell 25-year-old Berline today?
Well, I would tell Berlin, the only thing that you could have carved out a little bit more is to stop working at 50. She used to scale back, and I look back because I believe that when you're 20 up to 30, you work hard, work smarter. You work, and you may work 2 jobs to determine where you want to land. You have to come up with the platform where you want to land when you're 60 and 70. Young folks don't know that yet. So it's up to us to instill in that there is going to come a day, because this is a life process. We have to age. And young folks don't realize what they're going to be challenged with at 60. All the aches you have at 20 are going to be your 60 and 70 aches. So we have to be careful coming up. But during that time, that's the time where you work hard, get your degree, land the job that you want, determine if you're going to stay there or keep it moving. So that when you are 60, you can relax a little bit more and really embrace life. But for the young folks there, or the young Berlin, and most people now are entrepreneurs, so they're going to have a business. The big thing now is people want their own business. But you have to understand, if you don't have a plan in place to transfer that business to someone else, an exit, then you're going to end up being weighted down with the business.
Right. And you have to work harder at your own business versus a 9-to-5.
That's true.
So it's more sacrifice. Hours. Yes, much more sacrifice. I know when you talk about telling young people certain things to do at, let's say, a 20-year-old. Most 20-year-olds, and think about it now. Think about yourself. Most 20-year-olds already know more than you know.
They think they do. They think they do.
Right. They already know. And so I was thinking, what kind of class, or how could you instill in them something that they would really grasp it? I mean, something that would tell them that, yes, at 20, you are supposed to enjoy life and do some of the things that, you want to do, and travel and whatever in life, but you have to think about the future. And when I think about retirement and 401ks and pension plans, when do you think people grasp that idea? Most times they are in their 40s or 50s now wondering about retirement.
And that is
it's a little bit too late.
Yeah. And what is happening now with our young folks, Pam, they don't stay on the job more than 5 years. They move. And so things have been created, whereas you don't get your total benefits depending on what job. You take it with you, which in a sense is okay because they're making them do their own retirement investment.
Yes. And
so
are they?
Yes. Well, no. And what I would
thing.
encourage, I would encourage, and sometimes we still have a responsibility when our child is 20.
Oh, absolutely.
I would encourage them to take a basic, I don't care if they want to go doctor, whatever, take a basic business class and a basic advertising, how to promote things. Just take those basics to add to whatever they want to do in life. The other thing is they have to be aware of not always buying the designer. Get a shirt or blouse, put your name on it, embroidered, and understand the value of money. And everybody don't like money. Everybody don't know how to use money
or credit.
Right, and that has to come. And there are so many opportunities now to teach our 7 and 8-year-olds about money and understanding money. Now we got this generation slightly behind us.
Right.
We have to undo, but they've gotten a rude awakening with the threat of losing Social Security and the threat that they have to create and make their own 401.
Right.
So they have been impacted by that. So it's only the ones that can get through, because prior to that, our working parents worked and bought a house, gave the home to those 30s and 40s.
Passed it down.
They messed it up.
Right.
And so now they have to understand, and they're forced to understand, but with all the changes, because you can't predict what the future is going to throw at us, like the pandemic, the housing situation. But one thing about the young folks, I have to say, they are survivors. They don't worry and stress. Whereas we'll make ourselves do 30 years on a job, and if we had a problem with our supervisor, all we did was took the Bible and some pictures of the rent that we had to pay. We stayed there on the job, and we also realized you don't quit a job until you have another one. So, but the young folks now, they'll sleep in the car, sleep with their buddy, whoever got a house, they go and stay until they find a job. And one of the good things that's happening now is technology. And our young folks are so keen on this technology. I mean, this is going to be a way of life now. Well, we won't even be dealing with money.
I don't know. I can't seem to embrace it, because technology has failed at every corner. I mean, we are relying on it so much that I think it's going to be I hate to use the word the death of us, but it's definitely going to be our downfall. And when I think of people not carrying cash or places not accepting cash, and I know there are places now where they don't want to accept cash, well, I think that's going to affect a certain group of people. Well, so, because not everybody can carry a credit card or has a credit card. As far as not having cash going in some place, I think the blackout should have taught us. I think we should learn from history. When the blackout happened, it didn't matter what kind of credit card you had. You could not use it. And some places could only accept cash. So you could get gas because this pump worked, because they had a backup system. So you could get gas if you had cash.
And I hear you, and that is so true of the variations that impact.
But hold up, I'm going to go one further. This was I'm thinking about. When you walk into a bank, you remember the old days, you could walk into a bank, you hand them your cash, they stamp your book and give it back to you.
Oh, yeah, and it was
if
good feeling.
You walk into a bank today and they tell you their system is down, you cannot leave your cash. They will not accept it.
That's true. That's true.
So, come on.
Well, they're working on it, but I have
There's
to
no
say,
backup plan.
I know. But, Pam, I hate to tell you this. This is the way we're going, honey. We're going to be, you're not going to use money.
Yes, like I said, I believe we're going to live to regret it.
And yes, we are, because I can say that now. When my husband and I, we go to breakfast and sit down, the first thing he do is pull out his phone. Excuse me, honey. Can you just put it away for 10 minutes till we finish eating and talk to me?
Right.
Oh, I got to get this Berline. So no, I am not all on board for that, because it takes away the connection or the personal thing,
the social skills,
or the talking,
the conversations.
And our kids are not going to know how to communicate unless it's online.
Right.
Or a Facebook or tweeting something. So I don't agree with it, and it is a downfall because we don't have any empathy or anything. We can't touch or feel or you as you and I are sitting here talking now.
And just because I text you or send you an email don't mean you understand what I was saying.
I can't feel what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
And you may still not understand it.
And that is so true.
Because communication, and if there's a back and forth dialogue, then by the time we end, you leave with a full understanding. If I text you something and you think you know what I said, and it's altogether different, then we have miscommunicated.
That's right. That's
And
right.
so a lot of times, if I have to go back more than once, call me.
Yes.
Because it's too much for me to type out. And I feel that we can communicate better if we have a conversation. What happened to conversation?
It's more effective. And then I'm guessing it. What does she mean?
Right.
And then I might get an attitude. What's she talking about? So, I totally agree. But it appears that I don't even know how we can rewind this to go back to getting with people.
Yeah.
During our lifetime.
Right.
And the ones that this transition is in motion.
And back to the age ain't nothing but a number. It's just like when our parents or our great grandparents retired. They went home, they sat down. I just can't see myself going home, sitting down in front of a television, watching Netflix or anything, just to do that. So I think you need a plan, not only a financial plan, but a plan of physical and mental. So one of the misconceptions that we have about aging, just like your thoughts on it, it says, while it's true that we decline in our health and our mental stability, it shows that people are more happier and more satisfied with life as they age. What do you think they attribute that to?
Well, they're still probably socializing.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing things, and you have to interact. The key thing is people.
Mm-hmm.
You can have all the money in the world, but it doesn't mean anything if your health isn't good, you're not mentally alert.
Right.
And I encourage everyone, the key thing for us as we age is to find a space where we can have our friends and to build relationships. We're still in a relationship building. And you can have 3 or 4 different folks. You may have one friend that's good, but that's your reading buddy, or you have a book club.
Right.
So we have to continue to engage ourselves mentally, because some of the things we're not going to be able to stop. And we're not going to stop the aging process.
Right.
But what we can do is personally ourselves deal with our limitations, see where we need to improve, because they have so many resources and so many things for senior citizens now.
Yes.
We can go senior exercise in the chair. And one of the biggest key that people forget about, you have to strengthen your muscles. Mm-hmm. Your muscle holds your bones and your skeleton in place. We all don't need to walk like penguins.
Right.
We can head that out in the 40s, standing tall or walking and doing strength exercises.
And I think COVID kind of taught us some lessons, too, about that, especially people who were out and about, people who worked a 9 to 5 that found themselves stuck at home like me, where now instead of getting out every day, I was stuck at home moving from chair to chair to chair. So certain things happened until, I said, well, I can't keep doing this. That lasts for a couple of years, like you say, your muscles will stiffen up on you. You may pick up a few extra pounds. You start eating the wrong things. You may even get depressed. A lot of things could go on. But back to that senior citizen place, I'm looking forward to joining the senior citizen recreation myself.
That's right. That's part of life, and that's embraces and give you a better quality of life when you engage yourself and find out what you really like to do. One of my regrets, I think you had asked me offline, what was one of my regrets?
Right.
I didn't take voice lesson, but I'm not letting it stop me now. I'm going to still sing.
No,
it's a challenge.
You're going to still sing, Berline. I happen to know that you are singing.
Yes.
So you did a performance about a week ago, right?
Yes, I did. Yes. Through the senior citizen, and it's Beyond Youth, 70 and beyond.
Okay.
So, and people who care about creating these avenues. I really, truly believe in this institution. And I want to tell everybody, it's the Hannah House. Miss Pat Baldwin, she cares so much about us. And she believed there is life after 70.
Right.
So,
because it feels good to dress up like a character and fulfill what might be, when we were little as girls growing up, you know how you put on your heels, your dresses, you may have put on some makeup, and you pretend. You pretend like you were someone, whether it was clothes around the house or whatever.
Your mama's clothes.
So that was your imagination. You had a vivid imagination of doing things. So when you reach a certain age and you're free from the hassles of working every day, doing that 9 to 5, you're free to do what you want to do again, right?
That is so true.
So that's where you need to come back with those visions and make them happen. And you have made that one happen.
Oh, yes. It brings joy. And joy is the one you need in life. You want joy and peace. Happiness is a one-time thing for what you're doing, whether you're happy if you got a new car. But you want joy, and that you get yourself centered around people, and it's all in your mind, what you feed yourself. And Pam, one of the reasons why I encourage people to get with, and we don't have to use the word senior citizen, but we know, get with a place that will provide the opportunity. I've joined this place to sing. We're not saying we're big sing and stay on pitch, but we're having fun.
You won't get a contract.
Yes. Oh, no. And then the theater class, because I do like drama, it helps to keep my mind, and they're very patient with the people in our category, over 70, for learn, and it helps you to keep your mind. You're learning words, you're learning the words to songs, so you're challenging your mind, and then you don't feel that you don't have to worry about anybody looking at you or you messing up.
You don't care.
Because that's right. We all look at each other, and some people have to turn up their hearing aids. And it's just a good place to be. And you don't always find a group of people you totally enjoy with. I have a group that I walk with, and we call ourselves, we walk, talk, and eat.
Okay.
We walk every Tuesday. It's 7 of us ladies. We get together, and I think you made some T-shirts for us.
Yes, I did.
But those are my walking ladies. Everybody has different personalities, and we have to learn to accept people who they are and the way they are. If you can encourage them, not that it's your job, but your main purpose is to create a life for yourself.
But see, sometimes just by you having a positive attitude and not reacting or responding to their negative attitude or however they're feeling that day, it'll rub off.
Oh, yes, it will.
And I found that to be true. If you keep enforcing a positive attitude, eventually they'll say, well, wow, what's she always so happy about? And then it just might be contagious.
Oh, yes, it is. It has been for them, because I'll turn it around.
Right.
And you get them to laugh at themselves, make some decide out.
Absolutely.
So, and one of the best, there's 2 big distresses in life that I enjoy. You get the most hearty laugh when you laugh at yourself. Right. And so that is the best healthy thing in life. The other one is dream of winning $1 billion and say what you're going to do with it. Right. All you do it gives you clarity if you have, but it's also a de-stressor. Yes. Even though we know that number didn't come out, it ain't coming out.
Right. It's always hope. But I know when I tell my stories, because we both storytellers or whatever, and a lot of times I tell personal stories, and I tell personal stories of things that may not have been funny at the time. They may have caused me stress, some form of anxiety, and they may have been serious, at least in my mind. And I find a way to turn them around, and they become a story that, you find humorous and, and other people laugh at. But it's also a lesson.
That's right.
It's a lesson in the story, not only for others, but for myself.
Yes.
So, yes, we turn that around.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one of the things when you talk about how you remember things or how it brings clarity to you, I remember one of the challenges you had as we did our stories or speeches or things like that is you never wanted to write yours down. You always was an off-the-cuff kind of person. I mean, you're a good off-the-cuff kind of person, though. Most people can't pull that off. You are, but you were challenged. And you told me a story about how your this lady told you to go out in the hall and learn your lines. Tell us what happened.
So, in this particular group, we were supposed to learn our lines so that we can come together and put on this performance. But I'm this busy and I keep procrastinating about learning the lines or how to do the lines. So every time I come to class, so the teacher, she said, okay, I'm going to fix that, Berline. So she said, okay, Berline, you didn't have time. So go on out in the hallway. And I wanted to watch everybody else do their part. She said, no, Berline, go out in the hallway.
So you got sent to the hall.
Yes.
Detention.
Detention. I felt like she's a young teacher. She's one of these college students. So she sent me to the hall. When I went out in the hall, I saw this office desk chair. It was a little ragged. It was leather. I said, oh, somebody left this, but I said, I'm sitting in it anyway. I just prayed over and sat in. So I pushed the chair down the hallway so I wouldn't hear the other classmates. I sat in the chair. It was too comfortable. Pam, I was supposed to be learning my lines. The next thing I know, the teacher came out. She said, okay, class is over with. I still didn't learn my lines. But we did the performance. It went well, and one of the things about learning your lines, our teacher instilled in us, it's a skill. Mm-hmm. So what we have to, in fact, we have an assignment this week. I still haven't done it from last Thursday. You take a line, learn it, repeat it 5 times. Mm-hmm. Then you add the other line. Then you go back to the top and repeat it. There's different ways you can do it, and some people learn. They may break it down and put it on index cards. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, she doesn't stress you out. But then when you have everybody else in your group learning their lines, it challenges you, okay, don't let me always be the weakest link in the class. Let me learn my lines.
Right.
But I appreciate them because they teach in a way that makes it, she doesn't want to put stress on her, say, add stress to our already outside life of the class. But she wanted to keep it going and keep it happy, but also keep challenging us. Yes. So, yes, that wasn't funny. I said, this little lady here.
So that was one of the perceptions that they said that older people are resistant to change.
Yes.
So a lot of times they are, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. People just don't. I've been doing this for 50 years and it's been okay then. Well, it might not have been okay 50 years ago. But even if it was, things do change.
That's right.
And so we have to change with the times.
Because you get stuck.
Yeah.
As you get older, you could be stuck for 20 years.
Right.
And you don't want to live that way. Life is here to have it more abundantly and to embrace life. There is still so much for us to do on earth, and there's still so much. And ideally, you want to have a certain amount of energy, but you can push yourself. And you don't have to walk. Even walking, that helps to keep you alert, and it keeps your body going.
Right.
And then as you when you have a good workout, you can come back and rest, and then you can do so much in a day. That's the way life should be. And as you get around people and you enjoy yourself for an hour, you go home, you feel good.
Right.
So then you can do some more positive things and still get your rest. Now, we do have to take naps.
Oh, yes. Naps.
You may work one day, the next 2 days, rest up.
That's
right. And we have to schedule ourselves. We don't want to just... and some of the ladies, they have been overwhelmed, whereas in certain situations, they had to end up taking care of their grandkids.
Yeah.
So you do have
caregivers.
Yes. So those are challenges because, and I don't want to say give up their lives, but in a sense, they do have to give up themselves for that.
Right.
And then you want to have good people that they can go get you a bottle of milk, go to the store for you, bring it home. You want to get people that maybe, okay, let me come and sit for an hour.
Right.
And it's not overwhelming your friends, but giving you the opportunity to get a relief and to give. And you feel good when you give up yourself, when you're doing for others.
Right.
But not to overdo it where you keep yourself first.
Right.
Keep that air on, put the mask on your face first, and just do.
Right.
And we all need a purpose in life.
And that's why you can't just be concerned about yourself.
No.
You have to give back and help others. Even sometimes when you don't feel like it. You just have to do that because like you said, somebody may have to bring you a glass of water. We don't know where we're going to end
it's
up
going to happen.
in this life.
As we age, it's going to happen. And we want to stay connected with the younger folks. You and I are getting old. We can't do that much for each other.
Right.
We make it sit there. But we need to stay with our other generation. Don't get unconnected with them, because those are the ones that will come and see about us.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them, we have to learn how to not always talk at the generation or 2 generations behind us, but build relationships.
Right.
Because those are the ones, and I tell them, I want to build a relationship because I want my niece and nephews to help me across the street. Don't push me in the street.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we get them to start understanding money at an early age, it won't be all where money is the driven force that causes them to do wrong, harm, in order to get money.
Right.
Or get it. So if we start early, then it makes a better quality of life as we go. We're not fine. And we can't put money in our grave.
No.
Do something with it. Leave a little legacy. But then train them as, don't wait too late to try to tell someone what to do. And we have to share, and we have to put our personal stuff in order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
leave
definitely.
them a video. You can sit and leave a video.
You know, I got this quote that I read, and I don't remember who it's from, and it was so powerful. It said, leave a legacy. No, it said a legacy is not what you leave people. It's what you leave in them.
Yes.
So, I mean, even though you may leave something materialistic or something like that, which is always good, it's the memories, it's the words of wisdom, it's the things that they will never forget that helps them move forward
and that is so
and be
true.
Productive.
Yeah, that is so true. Your voice
and
hearing and instilling in them, that goes back, instilling in them what to do. And right from wrong, because we all know right from wrong. And then we tell our kids, don't work so hard. You need to you have to set your goals.
Mm-hmm.
And try not to go past 50. 50, you should know what job you in, where you want to do it, and where you want to land. Mm-hmm. After that, I say, don't wait. Now, I don't have a regret because everything impacts your life.
Oh, yes.
You know.
That's what make you who you are.
Right.
There's some things you might have wanted to do.
And you are going to have those thoughts. Boy, I sure wish I could have been doing this at 50, at 60, then at 70 or 80. And but even the 90s are getting better.
Because people are living, a lot longer. Yes, which is part of why they say Social Security and all of that will run out, and that people can't really save enough. So, you don't say, oh, I have this amount of money, so I'm going to be set for retirement. Not for 100. No. I had posted a video in the Pampering Myself Facebook page about this lady who was 100 years old who participated in a marathon. She walked, but she made it. I mean, and they were all there cheering her at the finish line, and that was something she wanted to do. And people who want to jump out of airplanes, like I think it was one of the Bush people, at 90-something years old, have that envision that they want to do it and do it. Right. So if it's something you want to do, for me, I asked you the question about what is it that you regret. Not necessarily like we talk about in terms of regret doing, but I wish I had traveled more, because I know when we had the funding to travel, I always put it in the house. Let's get some new windows. We can take that money and get some new windows. Because in my mind, at the time, traveling was something you do and it's over with. And you don't spend the money, and I'll come back, I'm still stressed from work or whatever. But I could look at them new windows and feel good for a long time. Or look at that new door I installed. But now, no, it's all about traveling.
That's right. And it's out doing things and seeing, because that window's okay. It's good because you.
We done sold 2 of them houses down the road. I don't have them now. They gone.
And you done took time and money put in it. So yes, I agree. And more people are going to the resort areas, and they're coming back. My girlfriend, I can't name the place she went. She came back. She stood up on the horse. She would have never. They had the tour guides.
Mm-hmm.
She took pictures with her standing on top of a horse, and they had them in the water.
Wow.
So usually we see those on the movies,
right?
And coming at, but she said she and her husband, she wished she had done that a little earlier.
Yes,
when we can really bend down, touch our toes, and jump around.
Right.
And then, but the real thing now is for us to do things to keep our mind going. Mm-hmm. Try to stay relaxed. Let things go. Stop sweating every little thing.
Yeah.
Laugh at yourself.
Right.
And create a space for friends, but learn how to be a friend.
Yes.
You have to learn how to be a friend and do your part. And forget all the negative talk. Mm-hmm. Because when you start doing negative talk, that means you're hurting. Mm-hmm. It's not them. It's you are hurting, or you are mad because somebody took 2 steps ahead of you. Right. And you sitting in the chair rather getting up and try to do 2 steps too. Mm-hmm. So I say that I am very excited about the chapters ahead.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yes, I am so excited about living now.
So what does your next chapter look like?
My next chapter, now what is so strange with me personally is that most of our life, our business have been in the real estate. And it's always somebody else's house. So the only other regret is I'm waiting too late to get the home that I want. And I look at that and I still waver a little bit. Should I move forward, or I should just make do what I have, improve where I am? But I do want to end up accomplishing that goal. And I think I can be still more effective in life for where I want to land. And it's just something I want to do. And I think I traveled a lot, especially with the kids. And I've traveled a lot. We're going to do more traveling. But I still would like to end up. I may not only have this home of my dream home for 5 or 10 years, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. So
it is, because you're going to pay to live somewhere.
Oh, yes. So I might as well go ahead and get that and still can live after I get that. Mm-hmm. So that is what it looks like. And I'm looking forward to, now my family, we bickered like every other family, fall out. But because of who I am, I let that go over my head. We are just now coming back around to the half circle to be more respectful of each other. Okay. To be more enjoyable with each other. Good. And to recognize that it ain't the other family member, it's you. Right. So if you change, the whole dynamic would change. Right. And the changes, let people live and be who themselves. But when we come together, let's respect each other and enjoy what we're doing at the time that we're doing it. And because
life is short. Yeah. So there's no regrets.
And you may walk around thinking, this ain't going to happen to me, honey. Life will throw you a ring. Will. And I used to say a locomotive will derail. Mm-hmm. So we can't walk around here.
You can be on top of the world today.
And down under.
That's right.
Real quick.
That's right.
So be kind. And if you notice, when you're kind and giving, you feel good inside. Mm-hmm. And it's what's inside of us that drives us and keeps us young. Absolutely. And then when we get to this age, we get to say, hey, we don't worry about what people say. And one of my girlfriends sent me a thing say, if you don't know me personally, I won't take it personal for what you say. And if you knew me, you know, and I myself, speaking for myself, everybody know I'm still the same, the same person.
Yes, since I've met you, you're still the same person.
So they can know I'm predictable. Right. So I just now is realizing I have just a little bit more time than what I used to, and I'm working to have more time of my own. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to get on a committee. I can help out. I'm a consultant. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be a pilot of anything. I will support it. If I can support you, and it only takes me 1 day or 2 days, that's fine.
No long-term commitments.
No long-term commitments. And I'm still saying no and still backpedaling because it's in my DNA, or I've done it for so many years.
Yes.
So I am looking forward. I'm looking forward to building. And one of the things, Pam, I had to share with you that I always get funny because we did some crazy things over them 15 years.
Oh yeah, we have.
Oh yeah. And when we look back on it, you can laugh and cry.
Right.
At the thing, we had a lot of nerves, but we was living.
We were. Yes, we were. We had fun.
We had fun,
yes.
And that's what. And you want to carry that group and that relationship as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
And those things, those memories cause us to laugh and they help us to spring forward in life as we're getting older. And it keeps you young.
Right, It does. And that's one of the things, like we got together, you said you saw the pictures on Facebook with a group of ladies that used to work with at the restaurant. We spent 3 hours sitting there talking and reminiscing about some of the crazy things that we did, we saw, we felt.
And co-workers.
And yes, and they were co-workers, but yet we still all keep in touch.
Excellent.
And so we're going to do it again in the fall and maybe invite one or two other people who did not get into this circle.
Right.
And just have a good time.
Excellent. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that little thing may sound simple.
Right.
But that means a lot.
Yes, it does.
Sometimes when you go out, you'll look at the people who worked in the factories. They at McDonald's early morning having breakfast.
Right.
That is so much. They meet up and that means so much.
Yeah.
And you miss people. You can say all this, but when you leave that setting, you realize it was a part of your life, but you miss that.
A big part. Because, we all had worked together at least 15 years.
Yes.
So we may not have, ran around with each other to, bars or did a lot of things, but we spent hours and hours in an office together. Yeah. So we knew a lot about each other and, had some ups and downs, but it was still...
It's like family.
We still managed to stay friendly and stay together.
Excellent. And so you could take that all the way out to retirement and meet every 3, like you say, quarterly, put it on the calendar.
Twice a year or something like that. Hey, we're going to get together again and laugh at each other.
Yeah,
different groups, yes. I have another one that's coming up this summer with a friend that has, I've known her at least 40 plus years.
Yes.
And some of the other ladies that we have worked with. Yes.
And say that what keeps that going because you care and you respect them. You give them their space. Right. And you don't try to change them or you're there if they need you. Yes. And we all learn how to listen and just be quiet.
Because some of the things, that we laughed at were some of the things that of that person. And maybe 15 years ago, that would have insulted that person. Right. But today, we all laugh at it.
And you remind them of it.
Right.
Girl, you used to do it.
Yeah, we all got our turn with, that's
and over 3 hours of laughter.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
That's good. You don't find that.
Yeah.
So, again, like I said, we have to learn how to be friends.
Yes. Well, Berline, it has been a pleasure as always talking with you and sharing information. And hopefully you will come back, and I know you will, and we'll pick up on a different topic. And maybe by then you might have gotten that contract with one of the record.
Oh, yes.
But I'm looking forward to maybe seeing you in a play somewhere. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember when you did Etta James at one of our storytelling events. I mean, you get so into them characters. But I do understand because you were also, I know I was going to cut
Ross.
It here. But we can go way back. You were Diana Ross when we did the Supremes in the park.
Outside
but
in the
hold
park.
up. Remember, we did the karaoke Tina Turner. Remember?
Oh, yes.
I was Tina Turner.
You were Tina Turner. That'll make you cry.
I'm telling you, when you put on, you put on a costume and you get into character.
I love it.
It just transforms you.
Yes, it does. It brings tears to your eyes.
You couldn't tell me I wasn't Tina Turner.
I know. And then somebody asked for my autograph.
I have pictures in my basement on the wall of us as the
God,
Tina Turner. Williams was Ike. Williams did that role
part.
good.
Yes,
she sure did play
yes.
that role. And other pictures of things that we have done over the past, and those will forever be, memories. But I actually blew the pictures up and put them in frames and put them on the walls. So
you're gonna look back even 20 years from now and just crack up.
I look now. I did a video of me and Greg for our anniversary, our 45th anniversary, and when I showed it to him, I said, "Who are those people?"
No, that's right.
I mean, we were so young
and in love.
I said, "Who are they?" It brought tears to both our eyes, but it was just, time.
Time, yeah.
Time just gets away from you.
It does. And as we age, it goes by fast.
Yeah.
We almost wish, can you just hold on, Lord? Just hold up for a minute.
Yeah. It's like you wonder, where did the years go?
Yeah. And the only good thing is, and the ones that can, and then I guess we have to be blessed. We got to watch ourselves too.
Absolutely.
All this falling, Pam might have failed twice.
Yes.
But I know now at this age, we do have to watch.
Oh, you do.
Because these are the pains that be in the 90s.
Right.
And they don't go away. But the other key is, and I tell everyone, please, if you can do a little strength, pick up them 2-pound bells and strengthen your muscle. Strengthen your muscle in your legs, your arms, and your back and your body. It will help you to prolong and keep you moving. Even if you have to walk with a cane, keep moving.
Right.
You don't have to go. It's not about speed. It's about moving.
Right. I know I think my niece fell on January 1st. It was a year this past January, and shattered her ankle.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
she is still on a cane.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And and she is 40.
Wow.
I don't remember, 40 something.
Yeah.
But she may never be the same again.
100% again.
Right.
And then, as we age, that's when the author be trying to follow us around.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
we know when it rains.
You
you need
the weather.
her.
You can be a weather person
yes,
out there.
you can become a weather person. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to end this Berlin now because I don't want this to turn into another 3 hours like I did in the restaurant. We can go on and on and on if we start going back to
reminiscing.
Yes, reminiscing on our time, because it has been enjoyable. So we're going to have to do that luncheon with our group of people so we can talk about the good old days when we got into character and just act up.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Pam. Thanks for being.
And thank you all for listening. And until next time, be safe, be blessed, and don't forget to pamper yourself.